Welcome back to Twilight Imperium 4th edition. We're going to be starting round 4. And if you look in the top right corner, I swapped out one of the destroyers for a cruiser for the Sardic, because I keep forgetting that both the Sardic and the Arboric have Sarween tools. Man, one of the things, I don't know why I have a blind spot. I can't seem to remember that, but I will see if I can remember from now on. Yes, of course, the Sardic have taken Mecatol Rex. And so what we're going to do, of course, at the beginning, is we are going to select strategy cards, starting with the Speaker, which is the Arboric, gets first choice. Then it will be Federation of Soul, followed by the Sardic. So let's zoom down here. I will have all the selections made here in a second, and we'll take a look and see which races chose which strategy cards. And we have our races having chosen their strategy cards. So we have Leadership with the Arboric. They have taken Technology as well. And then Federation of Soul, we have Warfare and Imperial. And the Sardic have Construction and Politics, leaving 2 trade goods on the trade card and 1 on Diplomacy, which nobody took. All right, we're going to be starting off with the Arboric. They are the Speaker, and well, they're not the Speaker. They're the Speaker as well, but they are in the number 1 position here. So our turn order for round 4 is going to be Arboric, followed by the Sardic, and then Federation of Soul. So it's going to be Arboric taking an action, Sardic, and then Federation of Soul. So let's go to the Arboric. They get first action, round 4, and we're going to see what they're going to do. All right, the first action the Arboric are going to take for round 4, Technology. So they're going to go ahead and do the Technology strategy card. They get to research a technology, so basically get it for nothing. Then they can spend 6 resources to research another technology. The Sardic and Federation of Soul can spend a token from their strategy pool and 4 resources to research a technology. I'm sure everyone's going to be going tech happy. Let's start off with the Arboric. So let's just flip that over so I don't forget. And the Arboric have the option to get 2 technologies by spending 6 resources. So let's go ahead and see if they're going to do that first. And indeed, the Arboric will be spending 6 resources. And I'm just using these little beads again. It's easier than flipping cards over all of the time. So they're going to be spending 3 here and 3 here for 6. That's going to allow them to get 2 technologies. Well, what 2 technologies are the plant dudes going to do? All right, the first technology they're going to research is Duranium Armor. It says, during each combat round, after you assign hits to your units, repair one of your damaged units that did not use sustained damage during this combat round. Okay, well, that's pretty cool. They now have 3 red technologies and a yellow, which means for spending 6 resources, they're going to do the next technology, which is a unit upgrade, the War Sun. Oh man, the plants are building the Death Star. All right, so they have a yellow, they have 3 red, so they can build the War Sun technology. Other players' units in the system lose planetary shield. Just comes in and frightens the living daylights out of everybody. It has sustained damage, so it can take 1 hit. Bombardment 3, so it hits on a 3+, rolls 3 dice. Costs 12 to build though. So yeah, it rolls 3 dice, 3+, move 2, capacity of 6. This is awesome. So they now have the ability to build a War Sun. They now have 2 unit upgrades as well, so that could get them a public objective. Wow. All right, let's go over then to the Sardic and see if they want to spend 4 resources to research 1 technology. I'm sure they do. All right, so long range here. They are going to, of course, spend 4. So they are going to spend this one for 3. And this planet gives them 4 production. And they are going to research their carrier too. They have 2 blue technologies prerequisite already. And I hope this is going to focus. So for Carrier 2, they get, it's a cost of 3, 9 combat, and movement of 2, capacity 6. So they've just upgraded their carrier fleet. Whoops, as I crash into things. All right, running out of space. So they now have their Carrier 2, which of course gets a plus. So it's going to hit on a 8+ instead of, did I put that in the right place? I guess oh, they don't get the bonus anymore. for combat. Okay, I don't believe they do. I think now they lose that bonus. I'm not 100% sure. I have to check the rules on that one. But they do have carriers now that move 2 spaces, and they have capacity of 6. All right, Federation of Soul. Are we going to spend 4 and get a technology? Pretty sure we will. All right, we are going to be spending 4 to get a technology. And the 4 I want to spend is 2 from here. If I do this right, 3 from here and 1 trade good. So that's spending 4 resources for a technology. And the technology we're going to get, we don't want to be left behind. We are also going to get Sarween tools. When one or more of your units use production, reduce the combined cost of the produced units by 1. So now all races have Sarween tools. Okay, that was action 1 from the Arbrick. Up next is the Sardic Noir. They can take an action. And before I forget, yes, it costs a token from their strategy, or a command token from strategy to do the technology. So I forgot to do that from Sardic, doing it now. And likewise for the Federation of Sol, we also needed to spend a token from our strategy pool to do the technology. So now we're caught up properly. And up next will be the Sardic taking an action. And the Sardic are going to take the construction action. Using that strategy card, they get to place a PDS or space dock on a planet they control. They get to place a PDS on a planet they control. Secondary ability won't kick in for Arbrick or Federation of Sol because we have no tokens in our strategy pool. So let's just go ahead, and they're either going to construct 2 PDSs or a space dock and a PDS for the Sardic Noir. Let's go see where they're going to do that. I have a sneaking suspicion I know where, but you never know 100%. And no real surprise, the Sardic are going to place a space dock right here at Mecatol Rex. They're rebuilding the ruins of the planet. Now they can also place a PDS there. And do they want to do that? I think, yes, they are going to do that. Why not? They're going to protect their new real estate. They got their flagship, a dreadnought cruiser, PDS, and a space dock now at Mecatol Rex. And that didn't even cost them anything as far as a strategy token in that region. So, yeah, I don't know. Up next, Federation of Sol to take an action. And it's time for the Federation of Sol to not be messing about. We're going to take a tactical action. We're going to get a little aggressive, I think. Let's go to the board and see where the Federation of Sol, which system they're going to activate and what they're going to do. All right, before we get too aggressive, having a look at the board and everything, I think we're going to activate this system right here, Centauri. We're looking really skimpy here, and the plant dudes are not far enough away from me to leave me feeling too comfortable. So we're going to activate this system. We're going to move in a destroyer, and we're going to move in a cruiser, just to shore up this sector of space here in case the plant dudes get any funny ideas about spreading their tendrils into this system. We want to safeguard it because we don't want to lose it right now. So that's going to be the action for Federation of Sol. And up next, we're going to have the Arbrick again take another action. And the Arbrick are going to take a tactical action. So they will spend a token, command token from Tactics, activate a system on the board. Let's see where they're going to activate. And they continue their massive build-up here in the system with the Alpha Wormhole. They are going to activate this system. Now they can move ships in here if they so desire. They can have 4 capital ships. I think they're going to move 1 destroyer in here. And that's going to be it for ship movement into the system. Now they get to build. Now they do have Sarween tools. Damn it, which I don't want to forget. So immediately what I'm going to do with the Sarween tools is they are going to have their infantry unit use the production ability. So for 1 production cost, this 1 ground force of theirs is able to produce 2 more ground forces. So that's a really cool ability for the Arbrick, which I've been kind of forgetting up till now. So I'm just going to do that right now with Sarween Tools so I don't forget. Now let's go to the Arbrick and see what it is they're going to build and how they're going to pay for it. All right, it looks like they are building 1 Dreadnought, and they have to spend 4 to do it. And how are they going to pull that off? They're going to pull it off by spending 3 here and 1 trade good, giving them a production of 4. And they've already used Sarween Tools on their infantry as well. So that's spending 4. I think that's pretty good. They're going to go ahead now and place a Dreadnought in that system. So far, nothing's hit the fan over here, but boy, the buildup of units is getting a bit crazy. So I don't know if the plants are planning to invade us here, Federation of Sol, or not. We've got some pretty decent defenses, but so do they. That is a border skirmish that could get completely out of hand. Well, that was the action for the Arbrick. Up next, Sardic Noir taking another action. And the Sardic are going to take another tactical action. So they're going to spend a command token from their tactic section. Let's go to the board and see what they're going to do. And what they're going to do is they are going to put a command token on the Alpha Wormhole space, and they are going to move in a destroyer. The cruisers can move 2, and destroyers can move 2. They're going to move all units, 3 of the units, into the Alpha Wormhole space to try and blockade their worlds. Now, they've left themselves pretty open in the back there, but I'm sure they have some evil insect plan going on in their minds. So that was the action for the Sardic. Up next will be another action for Federation of Sol. And the action for the Federation of Sol is we're going to use one of our 7 action cards. I forgot to mention we do have 7. Now we're going to have 6. We are going to do Rise of a Messiah. And we get to place an infantry from your reinforcements on each planet you control. So we are going to pump up our infantry on every planet we control. We get 1 extra infantry. Let's go ahead and do that on the board. We've got lots and lots of infantry to place. Alright, so I've got all the planets I control on the camera viewer here. And we're going to place 1 infantry here. In New Albion, we get to place an infantry here. Boy, this system's getting pretty crowded. We get to place an infantry here. We get to place an infantry right here. Wow, this is really pretty awesome. Oh, and I need to get an infantry off of there as well. So hang on, an infantry here. Oh boy, an infantry here. Another infantry over in this system where there's about 8 infantry now on that planet, or 7 or so. We also get to place another infantry here, and another one here. Wow. And let's not forget 1 on the homeworld, which I have to fish out of the pile. So yes, we do get an infantry here. All right, that was Rise of the Messiah. So our masses multiply and come forth. All right, that was our action for Federation of Sol. Up next, we're going to have the Arbrick once again taking an action. And there's a wee bit of discussion going on between the Arbrick and the Federation of Sol. And basically the Arbrick are saying, hey, Federation of Sol, why don't you trade us your two commodities for trade goods? We'll give you our 1 commodity, turn it into a trade good. And we promise not to send our green fleet hordes your way for this round. Does Federation of Sol believe it? And whether they believe it or not, they're going to make the trade. So they're going to trade the 2 resources over to the Arbrick. The Arbrick are going to give the Federation of Sol that commodity, turning into a trade good. All right, it's the Arbrick's turn for an action. There was a little negotiation going on there, so it's action time for the Arbrick. And if they backstab us now, we'll not be impressed. And the Arbrick will take a tactical action. Spending a command token from Tactics, that's their last one in there, but they do have leadership, so they're not too concerned at the moment. Let's go to the board and see which system they're going to activate. And they are going to activate this system right here, which seems a bit strange. Now, they do have Sarween Tools, let's not forget. They get a free, roughly a free production, so to speak. And they're going to have their infantry unit use their special ability which is produce, and so they are able to produce 2 units. Now, I'm doing this a little bit out of step because I don't want to forget it. They have Starwing tools. Now they can move ships in here, which should have happened first. They will move a Dreadnought in here, and they're going to move, let's see, what are they going to move? They're going to move a destroyer in there as well. Destroyer. Move both destroyers in there, just like that. So they're beefing up that system for who knows what reason. That's their action that they've done. So they basically used the special ability, production ability of their Latani warriors to produce 2 more infantry there. And they moved a bunch of ships in there, probably to free up this space dock, I'm just guessing. Alright, that was the action for Arbrick. Up next, Sardic Noir to do another And I'm doing it long distance because they have an action card they are going to play, and it is Plague. Action. Choose one planet that is controlled by another player. Roll a die for each infantry on that planet. For each result of a 6 or greater, destroy one of those units. I wonder which planet they are going to target. Let's go to the play area and see who they are going to hit with their strategic, genetically made plague, I'm sure. And yes, they're hitting the Federation of Sol. The Federation of Sol have 6 infantry sitting on that planet. So we're going to be rolling 6 dice, and for each 6 plus, 1 infantry will expire from the plague. And we as Federation of Sol do not have any action cards that can help us. Unless somebody wants to play Sabotage, which nobody does, that I can see, we're just going to go ahead and roll the dice. So let's see, every 6 plus, and one of those infantry are going to die from the plague. And what did we have here? For the rolls, it looks like we are going to lose 1, 2. So we lose 2 infantry, and that's not so horrendous for the Federation of Sol. We reproduce pretty darn fast, but that is still 2 infantry gone from our units there, which is pretty annoying. Alright, that was the action for the Sardic. Up next, an action for Federation of Sol, which might be the last action for this episode, I'm thinking. A bit of a time constraint today for filming. So let's have Federation of Sol take another action, and I think that will be it. Alright, and we're going to take a tactical action for our last action for the episode for today. So let's go over to the play area, and let's activate a system. Alright, and the system we're going to activate is this one right here, where we just had a plague breakout. So we can move ships in here, but I am not going to move any ships in there. We do have a space dock. We can produce 2 plus 2. We can produce 4 units in this system. And so let's go over to the Federation of Sol area and see what we're going to build and how we're going to pay for it. And all we are going to build is 4 fighters. Now we have Sarween tools, which I remembered. So 4 fighters would normally cost us 2 resources. But because we have Sarween tools, it's only going to cost us 1, and we're going to spend the resources of New Albion to do that. So let's put our 4 fighters on the board. Alright, so we're going to add 4 fighters into the system with our 4 ground forces now we have left. So we got 4 fighters in here. We got a Dreadnought, 2 carriers. Yeah, things looking, I think, pretty good for Federation of Sol with this little border clash. Of course, we got Mecatol Rex here building right up. And that's going to be the action for Federation of Sol. Up next will be the Arbrick, but I don't know if I'm going to do one more action for this episode. Let me think about that, and I'll come right back. Alright, I'm at the 20-minute mark, so yes, I'm going to do one more action each. Arbrick, Sardic Noir, Federation of Sol. The Arbrick are going to use the leadership ability. They get 3 command tokens. They can rearrange what they like. And then the Sardic and the Federation of Sol can spend 3 influence each to get extra command tokens. Let's go ahead and do that and see what we're going to do. So, and the Arbrick can also spend 3 influence to get extra command tokens. All right, let's start with the Arbrick. They get 3 command tokens anyway, and see if they want to do anything else. All right, the Arbrick are just going to get 3, and that's it. They're not going to do anything else. So they're going to put 1 in strategy, 2 in tactics, and that's good for them. They're not going to spend any more influence to get any more command tokens. All right, let's take a look at the Sardic, see if they want... Oh, no, B, Federation of Soul, see if we want to spend influence to get command tokens. I'm not sure if we're going to, but we might. And I think we are going to exhaust a couple of planets. For that very reason, we're going to do Raron, gives us 1 command token, and Centauri gives us another one. So that's going to give us 2 command tokens. We're going to place 1 in tactic and 1 in strategy. All right, up to the Sardic, see if they want to do anything. And the Sardic have that lovely planet called Mecatol Rex, worth 6 influence. They're going to spend that. That's going to give them 2 command tokens, and that's all they're going to spend. So I don't know if you can hear me from over here, but they're going to put 1 in tactic, 1 in strategy, and I don't think they want to spend any more influence. No, they don't. They're not going to spend any more influence. So that's going to be the Arbrick's turn. So up next will be Sardic Noir. And the Sardic Noir are going to spend a token from their tactics to do a tactical action. So let's go to the board and see which system they're going to activate and what they're going to do. All right, not too surprising, they are going to activate Mecatol Rex. They have a space dock here. Now it only has a production value of 1 because it's pretty much a destroyed world. But it does mean they can build 3 units there, and they have a maximum fleet capacity of capital ships equaling 5. So they could build 2 capital ships here, whatever. They can build a total of 3 units. Let's go over to their area, see what they're going to build and how they're going to pay for it. All right, well, all they are going to build is 1 destroyer and 2 fighters. Now, they have Sarween tools, so that would cost them 2 production. It is only going to cost them 1. And they are going to use the Bob Lazar planet to do that. All right, let's place their destroyer and 2 fighters out on Mecatol Rex. All right, so out on Mecatol Rex, they now have a destroyer and a couple of fighters kicking around as well. So not an insurmountable force, but wow, that's pretty formidable. I think their claim to Mecatol Rex is going to stand for quite some time. Unless, of course, the Arbrick and Federation of Soul do a concerted effort to pound them off of there, but not looking too likely. All right, it is now we're going to end off our episode for today with the Federation of Soul taking their turn. And so let's take a look and see what they want to do. All right, so the action that Federation of Soul will take for the end of our episode today is the Imperial one. Immediately score 1 public objective if you fulfill its requirements. We will be doing that. Gain a victory point if you control Mecatol Rex. Not happening. Otherwise, we could draw a secret objective. So we're going to gain a public objective victory point. And we're going to get a secret objective. We have 2 already fulfilled, so we're going to get 1 more. And then other races can spend a token from strategy to draw a secret objective. The Arbrick have 3 already. They can't do it. But the Sardic Noir most likely will. So let's go ahead and do the Imperial card. All right, so what does the Federation of Soul want to do? We want to spend 8 resources. So we're going to put our token here, and we're going to collect a victory point. We're going from 6 to 7. Oh yeah, getting close to the win. Well, we got to spend those 8 resources. Let's go back to the Federation of Soul area and spend them. All right, so we're going to be spending our 8 resources. It's going to be 4 from here, 4... Let's see, 5, 6, 7, and 8. That taps out all those planets, still leaving us 2, 3, 4 possible production. And let's not forget we have Sarween tools. All right, now the secondary ability, spend a token from your strategy pool to draw a secret objective. Indeed, the Sardic will do that. So the bugs are going to spend their final token out of their strategy area to get themselves another secret objective. So they're going to get one. We're not going to look at it, of course, because it's theirs. And we're playing from the perspective of Federation of Soul. And that, I do believe, is going to conclude our episode for today. So we're going to do a long shot of the state of the galaxy and wrap up and see where we are. And of course, I forgot the secret objective that we're supposed to grab for Federation of Sol, which is this one. That had to do with the Imperial card. Of course, it said immediately score a public objective, which we did. Gain a victory point, which if you control Mecatol Rex, which we don't, but we get to draw a secret objective card. So we get to draw this one, which I just threw on the floor. So let's take a look at it before we wrap up for today. And it's form a spy network. Discard 5 action cards as a secret objective. Oh, that is just awesome. I do believe, because we happen to have in our possession 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 6 action cards in our possession. Wow, we've been very lucky in this playthrough, getting secret objectives that help us a lot. And of course, that was the one we gave to Sardic Noir. They get a different one, of course. So they get their new secret objective. All right, now we're going to wrap up for today. Oh, I hope I'm not screwing up too many things and making too many horrendous tactical strategic errors. Like I said, I'm trying to play all 3 races at once, looking at their now secret objectives, action cards, all the technologies they've done, their special abilities on their cards, their upgraded units, and yes, the brain's getting kind of soft and gooey and starting to come out of my eyes and ears, but you don't really need to see that. So this is Twilight Imperium 4th edition. And yeah, things are ramping up. We haven't had a huge dust up between the humans and the Arboric. Wow, the Sardic Noir took Mecatol Rex. They got their flagship there, Dreadnought, PDS, Destroyer, Cruiser. Oh, this is brutal. But all that aside, the Federation of Sol is at 7 victory points right now. So that's getting pretty darn good, and we can discard 5 action cards. That's going to get us to 8. If we can spend 16 resources, which we can't, we could have got 2 more. We've already done all these public objectives. So yeah, we can't quite win the game. So I don't know what's going to happen in the future episodes. And yes, the game takes a long time to play, but that's part of the fun. So thanks so much for watching along. Thanks for your subscriptions, your comments, your likes. Very much appreciated. As always, join me next time for the continuation of round 4 of Twilight Imperium 4th edition 3-player game. Thanks so much, and we'll see you in the next episode.